And these tractors, boy, they are turning the tires here tonight. Wow, they are moving them out there here tonight here at the Fort. As Bob Gansmer will now set the mark to beat here in our Unlimited Superstock class.
Meanwhile, on the grandstand side, the Blacktop Binder, Robert Labe out of Republic, Ohio. 297 and 22, still the distance to beat on the grandstand side, courtesy of Tom Schaefer and the boss. And the Rutten Deer Hillside goes 292.05, 292 feet, 0.05 for the Rutten Deer. Bob Gansmer out of Platteville, Wisconsin.
All right, quite a few of the regional pullers here in our light pro stock class, battling here against the traveling pros here tonight. And always great to see how you match up against the travelers. That's always one thing about all the pulls. You know, you just come in, you register, you get your vehicle teched, and you can run against the best in the nation, and that's what we've got here tonight.
Now, if you're watching on MAV TV Plus at home, we've got a new scoring pylon over there on the left-hand side that shows you the tractors that have already hooked in our light pro stock class. As you can see, the Boss 297.22. It's our new leaderboard. Case Incognito, number 2 at 286.05, and Relentless sitting at number 3 at 284 and 37. Hooked to the sled. Right now, the Blacktop Binder, Robert Labe out of Republic, Ohio.
Oh, this is going to be a good one, fans. Right down the center of the track here for the tractor out of Republic, Ohio, the Blacktop Binder, and Matt Labe here tonight.
Shooting for 297 and 22, the current leading distance. Let's take a look at his replay.
Yeah, so tricky coming off the starting line there. Want to make sure you apply all that horsepower. And then we see settled right in there at the end of the track, and it's going to be a good one.
It indeed was a good one, Dan. Talk about 305 and 33. 305 feet, 0.33 is where the leader pylon now resides over here on the grandstand side. The Blacktop Binder setting the bar with a distance of 305 feet, 0.33. All right, over on the hillside, back to our unlimited Superstock tractors. Aaron Hull, Waupun, Wisconsin, taking care of business.
Yeah, the John Deere 9200, and first of 2 entries that Aaron will have in the competition here tonight. He'll be running both the John Deeres in the Hull stable here tonight.
After the sled reset, 292.05, the current leading distance, courtesy of Bob Gansimer and the Rutten Deer. Green light on the sled, green flag from our track officials. Here comes Aaron Hull taking care of business from the Badger State of Wisconsin.
All right, so Aaron Hall with the taking care of business down the center of the track here in Unlimited Superstock competition. As Bob Gansmer, 292.05, the mark to beat in this class. As we see on the replay, Aaron applying that horsepower right off the starting line. Turn the tires just about over 100 miles an hour. As these tractors, so far we've seen all the inline 6 cylinders producing right around 4,000 to 5,000 horsepower. With just one single engine. Very, very impressive.
We got a new leader on the grandstand side. We got a new leader on the hillside. 300 feet, 0.83, 300 and 83. Taking care of business. Aaron Hull took care of business. On the grandstand side, looking at Russell Bolser out of Liberty, Indiana, Natural High. On our light pro stock tractors, our 8,500-pound light pro stocks. Blacktop Binder continues to set the bar at 305 and 33. to end up a little bit short of that leading distance, but not too bad of a pass there for Robert Bolser.
Yeah, the Bolser name, Liberty, Indiana, they've been pulling for many, many years. Used to run super stock tractors. They've run super farm tractors and now settled nicely here into the light pro stock class. As we see here on the replay, is applying that horsepower right off the start line. And you know, Leroy, this is one of those classes where you're going to just start stacking them up. We see that in the super farm class. We're going to see that in the light pro class. They almost like set a net up down there at the end of the track, about 300 feet, and we'll start catching them. And just a couple feet apart from each and every one of these tractors we're going to see in this class.
And Brandon Bungart caught him at 275.89 natural high. Russell Bolser goes 275 and 89 on the grandstand side. Hillside, our unlimited super stock tractors from the Show Me State, Shelbyville, Missouri, Mike Novinger and the Dominator Deer.
Yeah, first time out here for Mike in 2021. Good to see him back out on the circuit. Now, this time around, we saw this tractor hook go a little bit over to the right-hand side of the track. You saw that just about the 150-foot mark, went over to that right-hand sideline quite a bit. And Mike was hard on that left brake, just trying to keep that tractor in bounds. Because as we mentioned, you touch that white line and you are out. So you've got to make sure that you keep the pullers will tell you touch that brake. It'll cost you about 10 feet in your distance. And we'll see here on the replay. Yeah, right there, he started hooking on him and just kind of legged it out there at the end of his run. Now, Mike's got a couple different pulling vehicles. He's got a light super stock tractor. Now, he started out years ago running an Allison tractor, an unmodified tractor many, many years ago before settling on in here to the unlimited super stock class.
Needed to go 300 feet. He goes 298.34. So 2 feet short of that leading distance. 298.34 for the Dominator Deer on the hillside. Grandstand side, Busted Budget, Matt Holland, St. Paul, Indiana. Our grandstand side leading distance continues to be the Blacktop Binder, 305 and 33. Busted Budget, Matt Holland out of St. Paul, Indiana.
International 1066 out here tonight. Now, I think in our class here of light pros, I think we're about 75% red in this class. So we've got a couple John Deere sprinkled in. We've got a McCormick out there. We do have an AGCO AC. But for the most part, this class is predominantly red.
In the distance for the Busted Budget out of St. Paul, Indiana, Matt Holland goes 289.77, 289.77, which should be good enough to put him into the number 3 spot for right now. You can see it right there on our scoring pylon on our graphic there on MAV TV Plus. Grandstand side continues to be led by the Blacktop Binder. On the hillside continues to be led by Aaron Hull, taking care of business. Backed into the sled from Connorsville, Indiana, Chris Gettinger, Afterburner. Right from the line, something didn't sound right. It sounded like he had a little bit of a flutter or something in there.
Well, interesting story on this tractor, the Afterburner. You know, it started out life as a diesel, actually. Converted over a few years back, and had been, that alcohol fuel, when you convert on over to the alcohol, these engines can be very, very finicky, as you can see out there tonight. And, a lot of times takes, as you can hear, as the tractor running down on our replay, a lot of times it just takes a lot of passes out there. There's no practice, there's no qualifying runs. This is how you test your equipment out in the competition. And unfortunately, Chris will have another shot at it tomorrow night to see if he can get things sorted out on the Afterburner.
Well, his Friday night pass is 278.12, 278 and 12 for Chris Gettinger in the Afterburner out of Connorsville, Indiana.